tied to the stock market than people think. Even if it drops, sometimes this time it could be okay just because 2008 to 2011 was a recession tied to real estate. There were real estate problems and issues, mainly high supply and major mortgage fraud and issues. This time it won't be. So stock market goes down 3,000 to 5,000 points. Where's a good place to put your money? Probably one of the safest havens there is, which is real estate, and probably Atlanta real estate. I mean, we still got a lot of very good things that aren't going to change in this town. But just watch closely. And again, the reason we're keeping this up here, learn these. You can say these without looking at a piece of paper. Because you can, every day you should be able to have a conversation with someone about this. And if you can talk about this, you will impress people. Okay? All right. So, let's talk, well, Pete, let's get you up here. Command, we're chugging along, we're making progress. Big Pete.
So now is the time. Oh, you already said that, didn't you? You stole that from me. So now is the time for command. How many people have either been to one of the classes or watched it on the video replay? Okay? So that's good. One of the things that we've done every time, at least in the class, is we've asked everybody in the class, you know, how, is it working for you? What are we doing? What could we do better? And how is the class or how is the information working for you? And we've gotten feedback from a lot of you, and we've gotten feedback from people, from you guys that are watching that aren't here, that it's helpful. However, sometimes we get wrapped around the axle trying to figure out how to turn somebody's laptop on while everybody on the line is going, okay, what's next, right? So we've gotten good feedback that generally the classes are pretty good, but if there were ways that we could consolidate it and like edit out all that kind of stuff, it'd be really great. So today, now is the time. Did I say that already? Yeah. So what we're going to do is starting tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and every Wednesday thereafter, we're going to have what's called one-on-one Wednesday. So we're going, and I think that they're going to get a couch up here. So you bring your problems in, you lay down on the couch, and say, this is what I'm trying to do.
How about that one in the foyer? That's a...
Oh. Like a Santa couch.
Yeah.
How do we get you off of it? So one-on-one Wednesdays, every Wednesday from now, which means that each person that may have a unique problem or challenge, just bring it in. Okay? And we're going to address them there as opposed to you having to watch a 2-hour training class and try to figure out where we talked about the part that you're interested in, right? That's number one. Number two, on Fridays, we're going to start videoing our classes, not really classes, but we're going to start videoing chunks of command so that you can watch each individual chunk on your own time without any class disruption. Does that make sense? So if you're interested in how do I get my contacts out of eEdge, you watch that one. How do I get them out of Google Contacts, you watch that one. And then if you have issues, come in on Wednesdays, and we'll address your issues one-on-one. Make sense? Yeah. Now, if you got the world's most complicated problem, it would be a good idea to call Stacy at home at night.
2 and 3 a.m.
Right. And let her know what the issue is so that we can kind of figure it out so that we look smart on Wednesdays. Would be helpful. But otherwise, just bring your questions in and we'll address them on Wednesday. Got it?
Sounds good.
Question, Alan?
Time on Wednesdays.
11 o'clock on Wednesdays. Right?
1 hour?
Depends on how big your problem is.
Yeah,
we'll generally be here for at least an hour. Sometimes it could stretch into 2 hours.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete, for all you're doing. Pete's a very smart guy. So, we had a little investment club last Friday. More and more of you should be coming to this. We're hoping that, yes, we have a massive real estate business, but the ultimate purpose is this real estate business funds our ability to invest in things that kick off passive income that comes in without us working, and hopefully that number grows to a level that equals or exceeds our standard of living, so we have the choice of not working anymore. That would be nice for everybody. Very interesting meeting this past Friday. We had Steve Thomas, who in our office, who has a long time with his dad Dave, a tax-free 1031 exchange company, and he really enlightened us on a lot of stuff. I can't think of a class I've ever seen just all of a sudden the light bulb went off for everyone, like, this is a massive amount of money that everyone all of a sudden was just engaged big time. So Michael, you probably seem to get the most out of that of anyone. What is a 1031 exchange, for just simple?
Tax gift.
Like
Charlie.
exchange.
Well, you have a capital gain on an investment property, you can defer. It's not tax-free, it's tax-deferred. You can defer the tax on that gain by reinvesting that money in another investment property. That's a simple explanation. There are quite a few rules you have to comply with. You have 45 days to identify the property to which you want to exchange into, and 180 days from the day of your first closing to close on the second property.
Or properties, right?
The replacement property.
Right.
And it's heavily used in commercial properties.
Right.
Investment real estate, like single-family rentals, are an ideal place to use that.
Correct. So Michael, what kind of struck you?
It struck me as there's some exit strategies out of some of your investment properties where you can live in a very nice home somewhere on the beach at some point in the future. That was one. Another is
Kind of tax-free, right?
kind of tax-free.
Right.
And another was I didn't realize that you can roll one investment property into many. So you can grow your wealth with equity that you already have, which I was not aware of. So it was very interesting. And to have a resource like that on the other side of the wall is just amazing. So there's a lot of talent in this room and next door, and it's just kind of neat that you don't have to go too far to find it.
Correct. So I think what woke a lot of us up was, Charlie, when you say it's tax deferred, it actually can be tax free. So
If you die.
no, actually not. So let's just say you have a rental property. Let's just say you have a rental property that you bought in 1980 in Dunwoody, and you bought it for $100, and now it's worth $600. Okay, and not only do you have the gain, but you also have written it down. Because depreciation is a big part of having investment property. So you have a true gain on that property, right? Let's say a $500,000. The idea that we had was, or that Steve kind of presented was, why don't you sell that house? What's your ultimate, let's just say you want to live in a million island, that's your final, like that's where I want to retire.
Resting place.
Right, not resting place.
Hiring place.
Buy the a million island house. You had a rental, make it a rental, right, for 2 years. So now it's like-kind property, so now it qualifies. Now you move into there, after that is your own personal home, which when you sell that, you don't pay taxes on, right? So you've actually, all this gain that you would have paid taxes on is no longer. So, pretty good idea. Actually, Michael, don't tell Deb this, but you're actually thinking like moving to one of your rentals, right? For 2 years just to get rid of the gain. So, pretty good stuff. This is stuff that's equal power to this. That if you can learn what we just learned in there, and you just sat down with clients, every one of them's going to be listening, and they're going to be wowed at the possibilities that you have just come up with a strategy that could make them hundreds of thousands of dollars in their retirement. So it's a pretty good class. I mean, everyone kind of woke up at the same time. So next, we have it every month, different topic every time.
Fridays at 11.
Friday, yeah. Look at it on the calendar, but it's usually Fridays at 11. Let's talk inspections a little bit. I'm still shocked. To me, inspections are a massive part of the deal that I think a lot of people overlook. So, like RJ, what are the 5 hurdles? Like from start to finish of a deal, what would you say are the major things that you're like, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this?
For the whole deal or
Whole
just
deal.
inspection?
Right, whole deal.
Finding the house.
Finding the house.
Negotiating the house.
Right.
On the buyer side.
So finding the house, by finding a client, finding the house, under contract,
Inspection is
Right.
the worst.
right? Is the worst meaning what?
It's the most difficult,
It's a big hurdle,
usually.
but most people
Biggest-
brush it under the rug like it's nothing, right? Then appraisal,
An appraisal.
then closing,
Financing
right?
and closing.
I agree with you. I think an inspection it's great, it's exciting, we're under contract. But really, you should be putting on your armor. Now's the time to battle, right? So let's talk about the inspection process. First of all, the most important thing is in an inspection is attend the inspection. I mean, I'm guessing 50% of you do that. It's very important. It's extremely important for a number of reasons. So why is it important for you to be there?
You can talk intelligently about it.
What?
You can talk intelligently about it.
About,
Problem.
Level and.
right, you want to talk about it while you're there, right? Right? If you're not there, your client's not there, you have a piece of paper saying stuff in it, I promise you read the stuff on the paper, it sounds worse than, correct?
Absolutely.
It's correct. So we have to be there, one, to talk about this, and one, to kind of protect our deal. We got a little egg in our nest here. It's a contract. We have to protect it. So hopefully you have inspectors that you have chosen on purpose. You give out 3 names, but you know they're all qualified. What do you want in an inspector? What do you want?
Good communicator.
Good communicator. What else?
Knowledge.
Knowledgeable. One other thing.
Bedside manner.
Right. Bedside manner and fair. Okay? Okay, so if I found all those 3, you're my guy. And I'm going to give out 3 names. So hopefully I have one of my guys. My chances are already better, but let's just say I don't. Let's say they pick somebody. Okay? And there's 3 names that are the worst names on the planet, but let's just say it's someone I don't know. What am I there to do other than we're here to talk about what's happening and what we're seeing, especially what else?
Temper emotions.
Yes.
I'm here to talk.
Inspect the inspector.
Exactly. I mean, again, realize the minute that inspector walks into the house, who's the most important person there? The inspector. I guarantee you, no matter what you did for your buyer, this guy has the name inspector, and you're inspecting a house. So you better not diss him, or you better not talk down to him. He's the guy, and you have to treat him that way. But we can ask questions if we know that he's saying something. Let's talk it through a little bit, okay? Example, so he goes, wow, look here. I mean, Virginia Highlands, 100-year-old house, look at this. Past termites. That's all he says. Okay? Most people are scared of that, right? But if you said, yeah, I see that, so, like, what percentage of houses had these, Mr. Inspector? Oh, 100%. Okay. Now it's a different story, right? We need to talk through things that we know are not exactly as severe as he's making them out to be, right? What's another reason we should be there?
Education. For yourself.
Good, good.
It's your time to shine.
Bill, yeah, it is. I mean, you look good by being there for sure.
Well, you're going to be tasked with writing up an amendment possibly
Right.
to ask for things to be fixed. And if you don't really understand them, it's kind of hard to write the amendment.
Correct. Or you don't, the other agent's going to know. The more accurate you can be, So the more they know you were there, instead of just fix roof leak. Right. Give the exact location. Fourth rafter over from the chimney, okay? You're gonna, truth and facts get inspection amendments done and approved by everyone. So being able to accurately write this up in detail and explain it to the other side is gonna make a big difference. So, again, key part, I understand sometimes we're busy people. We have a busy schedule. Sometimes it's not, you can't be there for the whole thing. I understand that, okay? I would highly recommend you never miss at least the end, okay? Where we can go over everything found. Again, I think it's gonna up your image in your client's mind if you're there the whole time. And you don't have to follow them around. In fact, don't follow them around. Just, make sure, hey, everyone's good. Check in every 20 minutes. You can be doing your work on your phone and stuff. Totally fine. It's a work time. But good to be there. This is what we do. We're here. You're my client. I protect you. I'm here the whole time. But I understand sometimes you got to be there at the end. You just got to. And I would highly recommend you have your client there and explain to them why it's important that they're there.
But some of the inspectors say that they do not want the seller there, specifically, and
I
so I
wouldn't
think
use
it's much more important that you, no, they don't want the seller, because they don't want to have an argument. I was a builder for a long time, they don't want the builder there, because they don't want an argument to pursue. So I think it's very, much more important that your agent represents you, if you're not allowed to be there, to understand what they're talking about.
Oh, that's a great point, Rick. So, Bill, you agree?
I've never had an inspector that didn't want you to be there, period.
No, seller.
Or the seller. Oh, yeah, I would encourage the seller not to be there.
So what's your conversation? So you're calling me, it's my listing, and you're telling me the inspection is tomorrow at 11. What's our conversation?
It'd be best for the seller not to be there. It's in their best interest, because they may get put on the spot about things that they're not aware of. It's just everything will work more smoothly if you let the buyer have the comfort and ease of having the inspection done unfettered without the seller there.
I also don't think, as a listing agent, you should be there either.
No.
Because they drag you around. Don't you think this should be fixed? Oh, look at this. And it kind of escalates things. Much better to get that report, be able to get estimates on the repairs, and react, and be able to be thoughtful in your reaction.
Okay, so
I like to show up, and when it's right at the beginning of the inspection, make sure they got in, and just say, hey, I'm here if you have any questions, and leave. But I think that's a good protocol, just to make a personal contact with the buyer and the seller, just show that you're there, and then leave, And you rarely will get a call with a question, but every now and again there's a question that comes up, hey, where's the water shutoff valve?
Okay, but what's our dialogue? Because we don't want the seller there and we don't want the listing agent there. And there's real reasons why, right? Because it's just problematic, right? So what's our conversation? How do we make that happen?
The buyers and the inspector are coming in really to tear the house apart, to look for any faults it has. But it's also the buyer's time to bond and fall in love with the house. And they're not going to do that if you're watching over their shoulder. You want them placing the furniture, the Christmas tree. You want them mentally moving in.
That's exactly right. So what we're presenting to the listing agent on that call is a real reason that their seller would want to leave. Right? So RJ, hey, just want to let you know we're expecting this Friday at 2. Can I ask that I'm going to be there the whole time. So it's going to work out a lot better if you and your seller are not there, because one, it allows us to focus and get this thing done, but two, again, my buyer has to fall in love with the house again. So this is 3 hours for them to place their furniture and fall in love with the house again, and if y'all are there, that just can't happen. Okay, well, okay, gosh, we're not going to be there, right? We want a reason why they would go, yeah, we're not going to be there. I promise you, I will call you the minute we get there. I will lock everything up, lights off, all doors locked, and I'll call you and your seller if you want to tell you when we're done. Okay? But there's nothing good to be gained with either person there. It's not good. Okay? Take this important piece of getting, this is the biggest hurdle, I think, in the whole deal. So take it seriously.
And Brett, now with technology, it's our last opportunity really to connect with our clients before closing. So it gives you a chance to be in their face again, because you may not see them again until the actual closing of the transaction. So I think it's important.
I tell you, the more you do, the more you go up in that attic, crawl space. God, the lower it is, the better. And you go crawling in there to look at something, they're like, wow. I'm not joking. I am not joking.
I can see that on the camera. No.
RJ, I want you crawling deep in a crawl space. No, but I'm serious. This impresses them. And buy one of those, buy a jumpsuit like they wear in the Put it on right over your tie.
And I would recommend newer agents, find an agent in the office that maybe tag along to one or two of the inspections that are going on.
Correct.
Nobody's gonna object.
RJ, I'm not joking. You come out of a crawl space with like spider webs in your hair, you'll be referred to 10 people like. There we go.
I'll take my chances, Brad.
All right. Top producers, what do we have to say? Take it serious.
Ornaments up in the attic.
All right, so top producers, year to date. This is through September 30th. 1 quarter left. There she is. You could be even higher up, number one, if you would crawl across. RJ and Tim McCarty, top team.
We'll talk after the meeting about the crawl space.
2 and 2 only teams. RJ and Jim McCarty. Tara and Gary Gaines 2. Realize these people live in Alabama and they work West Georgia. Telling you.
The old Mortinos.
A lot of business. Look at that, Deb and Michael Mortino.
Go into their
3, Kathy and Bill Haas 4, Eddie Levin and Sam Klein 5. Congratulations. Top groups, 3 or more licensed agents working together. Becky and Dave Evans, Group 1. Nicole Ambrose, Group 2. Ming Joe, Group 3. Providence, Group 4. Alexander, Group 5. Congratulations. Top commercial. Scott Morchower, 1. Rocky Kaufman, 2. Steve Fader, 3. Joe Cannon, 4. Josephine Chang, 5. Congrats. A lot of big commercial deals coming in lately. Individuals 1 through 15. 1, Dan Bangs. This is a tight race. 2, Cynthia Pierce. 3, Michael Culver. 4, Rob Carino. 5, Brandon Atkins. 6, Denise McEnany. 7, Virginia Moran. 8, Toshma Graves. 9, Paige Pace. 10, Jenna Huffam. 11, Amanda Martin. 12, Jessica Schulte. 13, Amisha Mason. 14, Becky Veal. And 15, Susan Eschbach. Congratulations. 3 months left. All right. Another topic. I'll tell you what. You guys, come on. So what do we got? Certainty Home Loans.
You guys. Hey, you in the back.
There you go. You two guys.
You two guys. Matt Lipp, Certainty Home Loans.
Paul Bryan.
Exciting news for anybody that attended our, what'd you call it? Not a lunch and learn, but
One-time approval process.
yeah, we held a training class here last week right after team meeting about the FHA single unit approval for condominiums, and that is live today for any case number effective 10/15 or later. Long story short, basically, it's going to mirror. The approval process for a single unit is going to mirror conventional, like a condo questionnaire. I mean, it's 6 pages. There's a lot of stuff they've got to fill out. Basically, if you're taking a listing or you've got an FHA buyer that's looking at condos, there's 4 big ones that you should look out for and ask about early. Those 4 are: the condominium has to be owner occupied of at least 50%. So owner occupied 50% or more. Reserve account is funded by at least 10% of monthly assessments. So 10% into reserves for their budget. This is a big one. No more than 15% of the units are in arrears. So that's, are they delinquent on their dues? And then the last one that I would ask about is mixed use. Does not exceed 35% of the project's total floor area, and that is by square foot.
What does that mean? Can you?
So if it's a mixed use, if it's
Downstairs is
Storefront.
retail.
Downstairs is
condo.
retail, yeah. Basically 35%, it cannot exceed 35% of commercial or non-residential use. So, I mean, these are kind of, this is live today, so we do expect them to change, adjust numbers as,
They already adjusted the reserve.
yeah, I mean, it's a moving target, so we don't really know exactly where this will end, but this is where it is today, moving forward. But this is huge for, I mean, FHA clients were really limited on the number of condominiums they could get into. I think the percentage was like 6.8% of condos were approved by FHA. So this is really going to open up a lot of, this is big for listings, this is big for your FHA clients that are buyers. So, you have a question?
I was going to ask about the 10%, so that really did change.
It did change.
Yeah.
That's great.
It changed even before it was live, so. But this is huge. If you guys have questions about this or want to go through, sir.
If it gets okay for the one, is that okay the community?
Nope, this is a single unit approval.
But the questions for the community are answered.
Right.
Still a snapshot.
Yeah, it's still a single unit. It's going to mirror exactly what Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have. So, I mean, they're not, if they do a condo questionnaire for Fannie Mae, it's not approving the entire condominium complex, it's just that single unit, which is what this is going to mirror. So,
Does that make the process any longer, or it's the same as far as getting the approval?
you know, to be honest with you, we really don't know yet. You know, this is probably the first time that a lot of condominium units are seeing this form they've got to fill out. We don't know how long it's going to take for them to get it, how much it's going to cost to have them fill it out. We don't know yet. Hopefully not.
So Matt, wouldn't the better thing be if you take a listing, a condominium listing, to get your seller on this right from the get-go?
Well,
to shorten the process?
I would definitely make sure that you know the answers to those 4 big questions.
What are they in besides
Can we email that around?
Yeah.
that begs the question, how long are those answers good for? Because they could change in 30 days.
They could.
But at least you know.
But at least you know up front.
Right. I mean, to have
the biggest thing you
Yeah.
want to do is, what's the certain company?
HomeWise?
HomeWise, yeah. Hopefully HomeWise can help. Well, that's right.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about in our classes is a lot of these condominium boards, they're outsourcing. It's not the person on site at the condo filling this out.
No.
They're outsourcing this to HomeWise Docs or another HOA management community service, and they're charging for this.
Yeah.
And just so y'all know, HomeWise Docs is notorious for, oh, you want this filled out? We'll do it in 8 business days for $400. Oh, you want it in 3? That's an extra $150. And that's the buyers paying for this too. When it's probably a mouse click to get this sent out to us. So, to answer your question, we don't really know if it's going to delay things, how much it's going to cost to get it filled out, but because we haven't done one yet, it's live today.
So no more looking
Somebody
at
in our
the FHA approved website for condominiums that are approved.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, none of them were approved, so it was irrelevant.
Yeah.
Except 6%.
Yeah, it was too much of a hassle for condos to get approved, keep it renewed. They didn't. So they're kind of they're going away from that approved list now.
And then HomeWise will streamline it, and they'll pick up that form and have it in their system.
Yeah.
And they'll click a button and you'll have it.
$500 later.
$500 later. Yep. We're in the wrong business.
But, so, this is a question, I guess, for Brad, too, but, so do we think best practice, when we take a listing, is to have our seller do this? Or do we want to wait for the buyer to do it?
I would have The seller's gonna have better luck contacting their management community, or their management.
No, not us. I mean, is that the seller's responsibility or the buyer's responsibility? What would be best practice?
I mean, this is the buyer's responsibility.
But you'd want to know before you list it whether or not it's approved.
Right. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily have them go through and answer all
Right.
6 pages, because most of these are,
But to answer those 4 questions.
you know, is it a houseboat project?
If it's my condominium
Is it
that I'm
houseboat?
living in, I can call my
Yeah.
property management company and say, I got 4 questions for you, at least today.
And one
Tell me
of
the
them's
those are the big
yes,
four.
then you need to
Yeah.
stop.
Those are the big 4.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea to let the HOA management company know that they're likely to get this form. It's like the seller's not gonna fill it out. Can't.
Right.
Right, he's not gonna know how many units
It
are in
doesn't mean
arrears.
anything if the seller fills it out, because it's gotta be done by a management company that has all the current data.
And also,
Yeah, but like you said, it could change in 30 days.
the management company might say, we're not touching this, call HomeWise, or call
Well, that's
ABC.
fine.
And that's, at least you know from the beginning, and then that's when you log into HomeWise, you pull up the condo
Questionnaire.
place, and then it'll tell you how much it is, and how many days and all that. Anybody can sign into HomeWise.
So like you said, this is a moving target. We'll get more info as we start doing more and more of these. But yeah, we're moving away from the FHA approved condo list, which is, it's going to open up more options for your FHA buyers for sure. Rates right now, we're holding pretty steady week over week. Conventional 30-year fix, we're running like 3.7, 3.875. FHA is pretty much mirroring that. Jumbo right now 3.875 to 3.9. So still cheap money right now. So, hope you'll have a great week. And if you have any questions on this, just come holler. And I mean, the form is gonna fill out. I mean, that's an easy Google search. You can find this, or we can send it out. It's out there. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
What's it called? It's a FHA condominium single unit approval questionnaire.
Okay, so I've added one more thing on this side. Every time you hear mortgage process is becoming easier, laxer, right? Got to be a little scared, right? I mean, that's what, let me see, sir. Oh, you got a pulse, you get a line. There you go. I mean, we're getting back to kind of 100%, you know, I'm telling you, that's just a...
No income, no job, no asset.
There we go. That's right. So here's another one on this side. All right, let's talk for a second. Again, Ming, I agree with Ming. Ming said number one reason he's doing the business he's doing. I asked one thing, what is it? He said follow-up. I agree. I think of all the skills, the majority of realtors are the poorest at this skill, which is the top skill. How do you become good at follow-up?
Do it.
Do it.
You got to decide to be good at follow-up, right?
And systems.
It's you have to have a system. It is staggering to me, especially the longer out you go. Like, hey, Bill, we just decided right now we're meeting next week Thursday. I know my system that we meet next Thursday. What's your system? The further out, it's amazing to me. A lot of people a day or two it isn't on their schedule, much less a week later. What's your plan? I mean, a lot. Ming just said it. I think all the business is in the follow-up. You are a pro when you promise stuff and you do it. You promised I'd be there this time and you do it. A lot of people, it's gone the second, right? What is your plan? If Pete and I right now after this meeting say, hey, let's meet today at 2, what's my plan that when Bill comes up right after, how do I get that on my schedule? How do you do it? I promise you, you will, of all the things in this business that you keep hitting them. I said I'd do it, I'd do it. I said I'd get back to you, I'd do it. I said I'd send you this, I'd do it. What's your plan? What's your plan? What is your plan?
I sent myself a text Immediately.
Immediately. That's a good plan.
Immediately.
Kevin, I mean, you're pretty good at this. What's your plan?
I've got a book, I write it down on my, and add that person to the list of things for that week.
Okay, so you just told Charlie you're gonna meet with them. Where's your book? Is it in your office?
Well, I got it right here.
You have it right there. Oh my goodness, how I pretty much wake up with that book, right? It's in the shower with me. I'm serious, and I go to bed by it with my nightstand. Even if, I mean, I have a list of lists that, worst case, if like today is crazy, out of control, great business day, I have to write it somewhere to at least come back to this to get it on a real list.
Right.
Right? We have to have a plan for that. Right? Guys are easy. Right here. Just put a little pad in your back pocket. Right? We have to have a plan to get this stuff down and get it in the proper place. Who had a hand raised? Yeah.
Maybe, like you said, by writing it down and also reminding yourself that you're building relationships with your clients and they're not just mere transactions. That's it. That's all I have to say.
That's exactly right. These are not mere transactions. It's building relationship and professionalism. John Green.
I put it as an event in my phone so that it pops up on my screen. You don't look at your phone and it says follow up. As soon as I get it, I follow up. Don't waste time. Just make it happen when you see it.
Okay. Again, business, what we do is meetings. It's a series of meetings. We meet with people. We call people. That's a meeting. I'm calling you at 2. My inspection is at 4. That's a meeting. They're all meetings. Okay? We have to remember these. And I have to assume, all of you have to assume that everyone else out there is no good at this. Okay? So it does me no good to wake up this morning and have 6 meetings and have 2 show up. Because I've wasted a whole day, right? The key is when I have things scheduled, I do them. I do more than most people. So what's a good way to make those meetings happen?
Follow up. Text them the day before.
They just really do this. Your day tomorrow starts today at 3. Look at tomorrow today at 3. Pete, look forward to our meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Confirming our meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Right? Makes a big difference. Who had a hand raised?
If the doctors do it, hey, for your appointments, hairdressers.
Right. Well, why are we doing that?
Because they don't want no shows.
Right, no show means
no dollar.
Time and money are the same commodity.
No show, no money.
There you go. These are just simple things. We got to get good at follow-up. We got to.
And it shows you're more on the ball.
And yeah, you don't even realize it's this invisible world that your clients are already going, wow, Terry's great. Larry's great. He's on top of this. This is what a professional does. This is what someone that takes care of my biggest asset does. Get good at this. All right. Lessons Caravans, what do you got? Hank.
Got we're selling it as is in Breckenridge. It's a traditional 4-bedroom. It could be 5-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 4-bath home. Immaculate hardwood floors under shag carpet. It's a 1970s time capsule to walk in it. But it's got great bones and the mechanicals are all new and updated. If you've got investors interested in it, great school district. Perfect for fixing up and flipping, or I guess you could rent it. Nice neighborhood.
What part of town?
It's north. It would be northeast Atlanta. It's up right off the I-85 corridor. It's between Briarcliff and La Vista Road.
All right, let's back up. Stacy, what do you have training-wise?
Awesome. Okay, one-on-one Wednesdays start tomorrow, as you know from Pete. But tomorrow afternoon, 1 to 2:30, we have Renee and Lynn LaCroix are coming to go over amendments and exhibits. And this is not just for new agents. best practices, even things like backup offers, contingencies on sale of the buyer's home, those kind of tricksy ones that we don't use that often, come 1 to 2:30 tomorrow. And then on Thursday, 1 to 4:15, we have a new free 3-hour CE class from Home Probe, and it's going to be, you know how she's been doing the development of Atlanta neighborhoods around, well, this is specifically the north neighborhood. So brand new curriculum, nobody's had it before. And will it be Melanie or not?
No, it'll be Rael.
Not Melanie, but an excellent instructor, free 3-hour CE,
There will
1
be
to
snacks.
4:15.
Snacks will be.
Snacks on Thursday, so come for those.
I'm assuming that this is KNOW, not no.
North.
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 There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so these command things
North
are a little
Atlanta
bit different
neighborhoods.
than,
There we go.
right?
All right. Love the free CE. Always good. All right, back to Listings Caravan. What do you got?
Stacy, in Pete's class 11 to 12 instead of 10 to 11 as it showed up
Correct. This was prepared before Allison went on vacation.
there? Okay.
So, yes, the one-on-one Wednesdays, 11 to 1.
Okay.
New listing in Austin, 4-3, it's gonna be 429 to 439 over in Verdon Forest, across the street from Austin Elementary School. I sold the exact same footprint a month ago for $550. So there's room in there for someone to come in, make their changes, and still be below market.
What kind of houses is this?
Below
In Verdon Forest.
Verdon Forest.
Sound like a good one. Will not last. What else?
Jennifer?
I have a new listing off of Spink Street. It's off of Bolton Road. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It would be great to move into or rent out. I know that you can make some profit renting that one out. I also have a coming soon in East Atlanta. It is a 3-2, lots of great outdoor space that they've spent a lot of time on. And that will list the end of this month for, I think we're gonna list around 410.
Jennifer, what's the price on the Bolton?
I'm sorry?
What's the price on the Bolton?
289, sorry. Yep.
I've got a buyer needs to be in the Dunwoody area. Single family, no split level, but up to 550, but something distressed, a seller that's looking for a quick sale. Buyer's cash, so if anybody has anything that needs a lot of updating, it doesn't have to be on the market, let me know. So think about it if you know of any sellers looking to liquidate.
What does no split mean?
No split level style homes.
So it's like a single?
Ranch or 2-story traditional.
Oh.
Where?
In Dunwoody area.
Okay. Jenny?
Going live next week. It was originally a 4-bedroom. It got converted to a 3-bedroom plus a den. It's a ranch. They've enlarged it, so there's 2 masters obviously on the main because it's just the main. It's being completely updated. It's in Decatur, but it's the end of Decatur. It's between Covington Highway and Wesley Chapel, and it's going to be $225. Oh, no FHA. Has to be convention.
We have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo coming up in Stone Park of Dunwoody, and it's going to be listed at $118.
Wow.
Good.
That's good.
Awesome. And it's custom. It's got custom cabinets in the kitchen. It's cute.
Nice. Who else? Okay. Go, John.
Yeah, got a 5-bedroom, 4-bath located in Vineyard Park East, which is in McEachern High School, just out Macklin. Just be like at the end of Windy Hills, keep going, it's out that way. There's probably a better way, Virginia Sphere, how to drive there. Anyways, 458, been on the market a couple weeks. New construction 2013, so it's got a a super extra large master. It's amazing. It's huge. And then custom closets. It's got an exercise studio on the second floor. They converted one of the bedrooms into that. And it's got a great backyard, flat backyard with a covered patio and that has a fireplace and a place for a TV, all that. So $458.
Who else? Okay, great time of the year, a lot of business. Be aware of the time. Seriously. Slow your response down. It's a weird time. Just stay calm. Respond slowly. Don't yell. Please and thank you. Be nice. All the things your mom said. You'll get through it, okay? All right, y'all have a good one. Classes this week. Hey, Big Rose, put it on your schedule. It's going to be great. See you now.
Good to see you.